Another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire commentary. Today I'm reviewing the trailer for Mega Diancie. Now, Mega Diancie was announced earlier this year, much like Diancie itself, but as of now, nobody has even heard any further information about the Pokemon, other than the fact that it has been various people have been hacked and taken from X and Y and has been used in various Pokemon battles, which some of us have already noticed. Now, as we all know, Diancie is actually among the other three mystical Pokemon in which other people have also hacked and taken from X and Y. The other two are Volcanion, which is a fire and water type, and Hoopa, which is a ghost type. Now, due to the fact that Diancie was featured in the new Pokemon film, the fact that Diancie's further information hasn't even been released, it's a bit of an issue for certain people, because for those of us who actually choose to get the game the old-fashioned way, and not bother hacking the systems and doing whatever they can to earn their Pokemon the way they should, because more likely, I think Nintendo wants to drag along the fact that Pokemon X and Y might be the last anime, or they're going to probably stretch more remakes and then stretch on to a 7th generation, depending on how the fan base continues for X and Y within the coming months and part of next year. Now, considering that the whole idea that an event is going to happen for Diancie, the fact that Mega Diancie will appear in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is a bit of a problem for me, because as we all know that there's a certain part of the Kalos region that is a train, but we have not seen anything about it. They have not explained why is there a train track set up in the Kalos region, or why Diancie is only in Kalos, but you get its Mega Evolution in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, still up till now, even with Diancie and Mega Diancie's announcement, they haven't said anything about it. They haven't given an event, other than the fact that they're giving multiple downloadable stuff, such as the Mega Heracross, Mega Pinsir thing. Like if for those of you who went to the whole DC Pokemon tournament thing, you got an Agishield for the downloadable out in DC, which it was, or you could get it by internet connection. And then they're also offering a shiny Beldum, which will later become a shiny Mega Metagross. Now, see, all of that they're trying to cover up. They're trying to use to also raise your anticipation for the games coming up, because they want to draw attention from certain Pokemon, because they have plans for certain Pokemon. If they do have initial plans for Diancie, and if Diancie is to be featured in more prominent Pokemon titles, then why would they not release that further information? That is the issue. But anyway, let's take a short look at the trailer and we'll get started. Okay, now viewing that, we saw the official release for Mega, Sceptile, and Swampert. But now I want to actually explain this a little more. For those of you who pre-ordered your X and Y last year, we all know that you got a limited edition Torchic, which had the ability Speed Boost and carried the Mega Stone. And for those of you who immediately got that Torchic with its Mega Stone, you instantly started off with 3, if not with 2 Mega Evolved Pokemon in the beginning of your journey. Now, due to the fact that Mega Blaziken has already been released, I was kind of expecting the fact that they'd give Mega Blaziken another Mega Evolution. Probably split it between, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, if not both. I'm not saying it wouldn't have been a bad idea. I'm saying it would have been a better business sense. Because why would anybody want Mega Blaziken? Because they could just trade their Mega Blaziken back. And considering that the Mega Blaziken that they offered last year is stronger than the Blaziken that they have now. So given that, it's only natural that such a thing would, be possible, but obviously they didn't really do it too much. But considering November 21st is at least 100 days away, we still got plenty of time to see what they're going to do. I'm still rooting for another Coro between September and maybe early October. Because primarily, let's put it this way. If it weren't for the fact that Satoshi Tajiri was exclaiming the fact that Nintendo released a little too much information about X and Y, we probably wouldn't have known how many Pokemon were actually in the region. Which would probably have been a bigger surprise due to the fact that for those of us who saw the trailers of the Pokemon on the website, made us a little less excited due to the fact that, okay, I see the trailer now, so now I know what Pokemon I can expect to fight against. That kind of thing is something that most people don't want to do. I'm not saying, you're probably thinking, oh, okay, so why don't they just not watch the videos? Let's put it this way. If you're advertising new Pokemon on the website, you're going to want to look at it. You're not just going to want to avoid it, you know what I mean? But anywho, let's continue the last bit of the video. Okay, we saw Mega Diancie face off against Sceptile, and obviously it was it used, I forgot what that was, whatever that move was called, I can't remember the name at the second, but it says in big letters, get Diancie for X and Y, and distribution details will be released soon. Okay, Diancie was released almost 9-10 months ago. For crying out loud, why is Nintendo trying to drag their feet with this? Like I said in my earlier video, I don't want Nintendo to have the same problem as Square Enix. Okay? I'm not saying that Nintendo is going to have that problem, but I'm saying I don't want Nintendo and Game Freak to suffer the same franchise hiatuses that Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts have. Because due to all this hard work that they're doing into designing, developing, and creating these Pokemon, and the movie that they just put out, and not to mention the completion of the franchise that they're trying to do, this is not necessary. I don't think if they're going to do this, they should have put distribution already out. That means that for trainers who already had X and Y, could have already had Diancie up to this point, and just got a Megastone and transferred over. Now, I say that because Diancie is a legendary Pokemon, which it may not seem like it, but it is. But also, you look at Diancie, it's also a Pokemon because it's a Pokemon of mere mystical energy because of its fairy typing. Most people don't use fairy types, but they chose fairy type over sound type because they wanted it to appeal to female children for ages 10 and under. You know what I mean? So when you hear the word fairy type, you're gonna hear, you're gonna want to see a little 7-year-old girl say, "Oh, that's pretty. I want to catch it." That kind of thing. But I'm just giving my opinion on what Diancie should have been, and I'm not surprised that Diancie wasn't put out the way it should have been. But anyway, drop a comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha and Alpha Sapphire commentary.